Hi there, welcome to DesignSpark Ask the Expert. We're going to be joined in the studio by Eaton, and we're going to be talking about programmable relay controllers. More specifically, the Eaton easyE4 lends itself to building automation and small machine control. We're going to take a look at the product, its overview, the specifications, talk about applications and where you can find further help. Today, joining us for the second time from Eaton is Rhys Martin. Hi Rhys, welcome back to DesignSpark for a second time. For those who haven't seen the first episode where you were involved, could you just give us an update again of your job role and what you do with Eaton?
Yeah, hello again, Greg. Thanks for having me back. Good to be back for a second time. So I'm Rhys Martin. I'm the Key Account Manager for Eaton Electrical UK for RS Components. So I cover the responsibility of pretty much all the electrical product range through RS UK.
Great. Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time to come out for a second time. I really do appreciate it. Today, as I mentioned, we were going to be talking about the Eaton easyE4. So it brings a cost-effective kind of PLC solution, if you like, for control functions like building management and automation, but also on the industrial level for small machine control. So what are the advantages that users would now expect with the easyE4?
So here today to talk about the Eaton easyE4 Smart Programmable Relay. And what this offers is a nice compact solution for automating processes such as machinery, smart home automation, and what we also are working on and developing is the IoT using the Amazon Web Server cloud system. So with this, it allows integration into a wider platform of smart solutions, as well as getting into artificial intelligence.
Fantastic. I'll come back to communications if possible in my next question, but I'm just interested a little bit more about the kind of the flexibility. You were saying, obviously this is a compact unit in terms of the programming and the interface, and is it quite intuitive for users to actually start to get to grips with?
It is. It's very simple. Very little programming knowledge is required. So with the unit, what you'll do is you'll download our easyE software. We have 4 programming languages. So we've got our own easySoft programming language, ladder, function block, and then what's really special is structured text. Right. So this allows people that are coming from a PLC programming background or maybe worked with Codesys in the past to easily apply that structured text programming knowledge onto the easyE4 to allow them to, use a more simpler product for an automation application.
Yeah. Okay. So you have got that variable of options there, which, if, like you say, if you're comfortable with one or the other, then you have that option. The other thing probably also to think about, in what we talk about a lot today with energy monitoring, efficiency. What is it you can tell me about easyE4 when it comes to those?
So in terms of energy, what we have been involved with is an application where a customer has integrated one of our easyE4s into a process where it is monitoring solar and battery storage energy in domestic applications. So it will monitor sort of the power usage of the house, how much energy is stored. In the country where this application is based, they have the option to sell energy back to the grid. So it will use the artificial intelligence piece using Node-RED, which we can probably talk about a bit more in a minute through the Amazon Web Server. It will monitor the current price of energy to sell back onto the grid at the best rates.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's really getting into, some really smart applications. Such a nice, simple, small device has got that capability packed into it. So that's where we're seeing these types of renewable energy situations are utilizing the easyE4.
Yeah. And, as we said, for building automation, building management, that's really applicable there as well. So in terms of the scale of the unit, obviously it's a very compact unit, but what can you tell me about maybe expandability, for example, and I/O?
Yeah, so as you'll see, nice compact unit. The standard unit comes with 8 inputs and 4 outputs, but this is scalable with modular add-on units to the side. And you can add up to 11 units, giving you up to 188 inputs and outputs. So
Fantastic.
depending on the scale of the application, you could get up to quite some big applications, and the Easy is capable of supporting those.
Yeah. Well, that's good to understand, because then obviously there's the flexibility within the system itself if you want to actually increase, so you can tailor make exactly what you require as and when you need it, right?
Correct, yeah. And there is
Yeah.
also, if you don't want to have all those add-on modules on the side, we do have a communications module that you can add to the unit to link it to Modbus. So that is another form of scaling up your communication protocols.
Yeah. That brings me on to the next question I was wanting to talk to you about is actually the communication itself. But before we talk about maybe AWS,
Yep.
obviously communication is really important. Many applications require robust communication. So when we're talking about building management and industrial automation, then we need to have some robust communications and secure communications in place. So what is it you can tell me about communications, the web servers, and when it comes to easyE4?
So the built-in web server allows for remote monitoring, auto notifications, so you can set it up to ping you emails, text messages, that sort of thing. If there's an error, something's happened with your equipment, or to update you on a figure that the easyE4 is monitoring. With the integrated web server with the web editor, it allows you, if you're using a visualization piece of equipment, so like a HMI display, it allows you to edit sort of the pictorials on there, your design showing certain figures and displays. So you can do all that remotely from the EasySoft app or the web server, which is basically just like a standard web page type setup.
Yeah, cool. And so, obviously when we're talking about web servers, we're talking about communications protocols for factory automation. You're talking HMIs, obviously SCADA systems. Is it anything else that you want to share with us?
So just building off of that, so I've mentioned sort of the Modbus protocol it's integrated with. It's also got the Ethernet port built in to the device as well for further communication. We've got Bluetooth built in as well. So they're sort of the key points there.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of communication protocols there for easier integration, with everything that's common today. And obviously one of those things that we spoke about just a second ago was Amazon Web Services. So the integration of AWS, what does that bring to the table in terms of easyE4?
So Amazon Web Server is one of the world's most widely used cloud platform. So this means that any information that your easyE4 is monitoring and storing can be stored through the device onto the Amazon Web Server cloud. And you can obviously, if you're working on a huge application where you've got hundreds of easyE4s, they can all send the information up to the cloud, and it can be aggregated, monitored, and reported on, remotely through the cloud server.
Yeah.
So, this is brilliant for, remote monitoring situations, pre-preventative maintenance, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's really key these days as well, isn't it? Is that kind of remote monitoring, preventive maintenance. We're talking about things like condition monitoring, for example. But what I'm really liking from what you're saying to me is here. This all sounds really, really great. It's a flexible system. It's modular. It's got a lot of connectivity. It's intuitive. So I'm just thinking. I know when we were making the introduction, we were talking about this is really kind of like a cost-effective PLC solution for many different various industries. But where are you seeing typical applications or user cases for easyE4?
So I think, the main one is simple machine automation,
Mm-hmm.
widely used in that area, but with the implementation of the Amazon Web Server, it's allowed us to integrate programs like Node-RED, which is a widely used program for house automation. So, smart lights, security
Mm-hmm.
systems, Google devices, all that sort of thing, is allowing you to integrate the easyE4 into those applications to basically control your house. So, it's being developed into more of a domestic solution as well as industrial. But yeah, the capabilities are pretty much endless at the minute with having the AWS server integrated into the easyE4 platform.
Yeah. And interesting to see what you were talking there about home automation. So I've just been a trade show recently and bumping into a lot of people who are actually bringing automation from the sort of the concept within the connected factory into the connected home. So in terms of AWS, more people are familiar with that, and the compactness of your unit, not only valuable obviously for small scale industrial applications, small machine control, but actually, as you said, within that home automation environment. And when you consider the application that you told me about with energy monitoring, more and more people are actually doing that. They're taking note. How do they then link back into the grid, for example? How do they know about the power that they're using, the rates in terms of the cost of the commodity for the energy from the energy company? So it all sounds to me like the days of programmable relays are moving also outside of the factory, if you like, into sort of like our domestic lives. Would you say that that's some of the case?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think what it is as well, people like tinkering around and hobbyists getting involved with things. There's various chat rooms around linked to the Node-RED system, people integrating the easyE4 into their own solutions. So, it's not necessarily just domestic applications. There could be, small scale automation projects, universities are doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, people can scale it, the solution however they want with the easyE4.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously within obviously the UK, we know that there are many small businesses who do need automation of some respect or other, but they're looking for easy integration. They're looking for cost effectiveness, and they're looking for something which is not actually going to take time to deliver and to develop. And it sounds to me like the easyE4 is ticking all of those boxes. Just before we finish, though, I just want to pick up on, if we were to summarize easyE4 in terms of its connectivity and functionality. You were talking about modularization there and I/O. Is there anything else that you just want to recap and finish on?
Security is a key topic of today, with information being stored on the cloud between devices. So the easyE4, we've got an implemented dedicated hardware chip inside the unit for storing secure information, and this is to current ISO standards.
But one other point, which is always really pertinent, is where could we send users to get more advice and support from the perspective of easyE4?
So yeah, with training, we've got a nice dedicated web page on the eaton.com website. And on here is all the user manuals, drawings, connection guides, setup guides. But on top of that, we've got some really good free training software. So it's a simple sign up, and then that gives you access to a 60-minute course, which is a simple setup of the product, getting it all connected to your computer through the EasySoft software, and then some basic programming functions on the device with some example scenarios.
Yeah, and we will put links to those resources within the article which accompanies this video. So yeah, go check out what Eaton are offering there. I've seen some of those videos previously when we were together a couple of weeks ago, and they look absolutely fantastic and take you through all of the kind of setup, the processes, but also obviously being video, you can return to those for verification, and learn at your own speed, essentially, right?
Yeah, definitely. What it's probably also worth mentioning is we've got starter kits. So it's made up of a certificate for the software, the easyE4 device, and then a patch cable for linking it to your computer. So if it is something you are interested in giving a go and trying out, it's worth a look on the RS website at one of those starter kits.
Fantastic. Yeah, and we will put links obviously to easyE4 and the starter kits again within the article which accompanies this video. Reese, thanks for taking the time out today to join us here on DesignSpark for the second time. I hope we can have you back on for a third time where we can talk some more about the Eaton range, the products and the services that you guys are providing to RS customers.
I'm sure I'll be back soon. Thank you very much.